Welcome to Subramani. Today I'm going to talk a little about family finances. Uh, is your wife financially independent? I think this is a very important question to answer because many men and women separately seek financial independence. But what about the woman who has given up everything to have your kids and uh, look after your house, maybe lend a hand in your business and print invoices and sign them and send it out, right? All those things. A lot of receive your courier. It's not just small things, but even the big things like maybe talking to a client when the client is in your office or things like that. Even assuming she's not helping you in your business, and you are in service, but the fact that you are able to travel 15 days in the month or 18 days in the month without worrying about your daughter's education or schooling or paying the bills or anything like that, if she completely takes charge of your house, remember this has happened because she's given up her career, right? Now, is she financially independent? I get letters or emails to say, saying my husband completely controls me, right? If you love your spouse, make her financially independent. She should have her own bank account. Maybe you're an either or survivor for legal reasons and convenience reasons, but it should be her account. She should have an independent source of income. She should be able to do whatever she wants. And when I say whatever she wants, I mean whatever she wants for herself. Will she be able to buy tickets for her parents for a vacation to Singapore? Will she be able to tell you that her parents are coming to visit you and you are paying for the tickets? I'm talking at least of that level of independence, not the fact that she can buy herself a dress or buy a better buy some better stuff for your house, or she bought a 3,000 rupee toy for your kid. No, I'm not talking of that. I'm talking of something far bigger than that, right? If you love your spouse, the best thing to do is make her financially free. Why am I saying this? Because most divorces happen because of money. It may take some other form, but a very, very controlling guy not allowing his wife to do anything. Forget controlling guy. There are guys whose parents want to control what the spouse does with her money. So she would be told, you're earning so much, I want you to give the cash to me or put it in this account and this is what will happen. If your father and mother can't dictate what your wife should do, even you should not be dictating what she should do. Yes, it's a joint thing. You can sit and talk and argue and then come to a conclusion. Right from, I have seen women earning well, earning perhaps extremely well, as much as the husband or the father-in-law, but not being allowed to buy, say, a car of her choice. She may want a more powerful car. Husband may be driving an i10 and she may want a Ford, or she may want a Honda City. She may want to drive a bigger car, a more powerful car. Maybe she is doing longer distance traveling. And that's seen like shocking. How can you do that kind of a thing? Don't do that. So if your wife has given up everything to be with you, to be looking after your business, your baby and your family, I think she deserves her financial independence enough for her to not worry about what will happen if you ditch her. Because most of the divorces which I see, the women are in a mess. They have no clue what happened to their money. They have just given up completely. They've abdicated. In some cases, the husbands have completely destroyed the value. So what can you do? I know one young girl, she must now be turning 40, who about 10 years ago, when her husband asked her to leave her job and join him, she said, you need to pay me a salary. And he was a little surprised, but he said, okay. And he's still paying her a salary of about 80,000-90,000 a month. That's not small, because that was her salary at that time when she was about 31-32 when she quit her job, and her husband is paying it to her diligently. She saves that money, she invests that money, she rarely spends, but she has about 30 lakhs lying in her name in mutual funds. Yes, in all the cases the husband is the second holder, either or survivor, but in case the girl wants, she can remove money whenever she wants, how much soever she wants, and use it for whatever she desires. Right, so I think that is imagine somebody marrying and giving up their job to raise a family and still being entirely dependent on the working spouse. I think it's not fair. Now, if you don't pay her 90,000 per month, that's still okay, but contribute to her PPF account. Just put 1.5 lakhs in her PPF account, so that end of 10, 15 years, 20 years, you have that money accumulated in her name, completely in her control. After 15 years she can withdraw whenever she wants, right? So that it gives her confidence to know that in case something happens to you, or rather you ditch her for whatever reasons, at least she's been fairly treated financially. I mean, things could still change, right? So for all this desire and talk for financial independence, men, when they want financial independence, they also have to think of the financial independence for the spouse, right? And I've seen guys completely miserly with their money. They don't spend it on themselves, they will not spend it on their wives, they will try to accumulate more and more. I'm not saying being miserly is right or wrong, but ask your wife, is that what she wants? Does she want to ask you before buying a 2,000 rupee or a 3,000 rupee toy for the kid? Does she have to ask you before she buys herself a dress? Does she have to ask you before she buys tickets for her parents to travel? And if yes, why? Why should she have to go through all this nonsense? Because if she had not left her job, she would have had this money. So loving your spouse means making your spouse financially independent, financially knowledgeable enough to be able to manage the money, and not have to worry about how you will treat her financially, because your attitude to finance can be so stubborn and so bad that it might lead to a divorce. I'm not joking. I've seen this case happening, right? So if one spouse is making the money, the other spouse should also have equal access to the money, right? We saw what happened to Jeff Bezos. So don't wait for a divorce to share your money. So living together is not a great idea for financial independence, legally speaking. Unless the woman is your spouse, it's almost impossible for her to access all your money in case you die. So first of all, getting married is a very good idea if you love your spouse and you want her to be financially independent. Establish at least one financial account where she controls. You could be either or survivor, but her source of income should come from there. So in case you bought a house or somebody else has bought a house, doesn't matter. I mean, if you can create income for her, if you can create income by letting her money grow separately because she was earning anyway, using that money to create fixed deposits or equity portfolios or even a house, and for her to get rent, that's a sensible thing. Second, putting money in her PPF account is a sensible thing. In case she has student loans or even a home loan or anything like that, paying that off makes sense. Please understand, here is a brilliant way to create an asset. Your wife and you can borrow, buy a house. Maybe she buys a house with just her money and her borrowing. If you pay down the debt, it is impossible for the clubbing provisions to apply, right? So some of those things are possible. Or create the business in her name, create a partnership, make her a partner, share the profits, contribute to her PPF, I spoke about it early, and assign some income to her because she is a stay-at-home parent, right? Or she gets a salary from your business, or she gets a salary from some friend's business, right? Something like that. This will the best way to set your partner free, and think of the bigger picture, think of keeping her happy. And once she is happy with all this kind of an arrangement, she is not suspicious about what you're doing. So if you are clear that you want to have financial independence for yourself, think of financial independence for your spouse. It is important. She will feel more comfortable. If you love your spouse, do that. She's not going to leave you. Instead, being miserly and control freak might push her to divorce, and you may never understand why. So please be careful. Thank you.